Hey, it's Mr. Barr here again for today's lesson, and kind of want to hit up some issues that we've been having. Like I said, I don't want everybody to freak out, but you know, we'll figure out these issues, and by the next couple of weeks we'll be good to go. A couple of things that have popped up is when you're working on the TeamViewer app, you're going to do a file, save as, and go to this PC and just save it in this PC as bar retreat, whatever it may be, and then you'll have access to it there every time. If you're working from home, you can save it however you want. The other issue we've run into is when you guys are trying to access this stuff from week 2 files, it's not working. I sent an email to everybody that has the beginning file that you can open from there, and that works just fine. And then do the file save as and save it as your last name and retreat. Each day when you finish, save the portion you did plus the stuff from the day before, send it to me, and it has to be done daily. I put in a letter today to you guys that I was accepting the stuff from the previous day today still, and I'll may do that tomorrow, but at some point you're going to get zeros if you're not turning the work in. The work has to be done, so make sure you're getting that stuff turned in daily. All it is completion points. Just have to do the work. So get it emailed to me on a daily basis so that we can kind of progress. What we have done so far is, so far in the first day you created employee retreats in the cover page, the secondary heading, the bottom portion, a header, change the heading here, increase the indent, change the header here, turn these orange, put the footer on so far. Then we did a list yesterday where we created new headings, we indented it over. I think we also moved the margin over to 6 inches for this information up here. And that leads us to today's work. And what we're going to work on today is going to be available buildings. There should be this chart on your page. So what you want to do is, first things first, go like this and change the width of all of these to be what's called the best fit option. Or at least for the first one, sorry, just for the first one. So just click with your mouse like this and do a double click, and it should make it the best fit option for that. Then what it wants you to do for this one is enter and then do best fit for that one. And then on this one, so eventually it's telling us just to say that the first column should be 1.6. The second column should be, which is pretty close, 0.9. It says 0.98, and your third column should be 1.06. And like I said, that was done within the layout option in the far right corner. So 0.9 or 1.6, 0.98, 1.06 for all these. Then what it tells us to do is the next step is to highlight all this information. And it says at that point it wants you to change the height, and it says it wants the height to be changed to 0.3 for all those rows. Then what it wants you to do is click anywhere in the table, and then you'll go to table design and go to your different options, and the one they want you to select for this would be grid table 5, which is this one right here. Dark accent 1, and then when I do that it should make a dark blue with this information in that. Then it tells us to highlight all of the first column, and under layout go to center left align, so it makes it center cell and all the way to the left. Then it tells us to highlight all of this information and do the same thing, layout, but this time it wants center right. So center left and center right so far. Then it tells us to select the whole thing and go to home and hit center, so it moves it to the center of the page. Then what it wants us to do is whole table selected. It says go to A to Z sort, and it says sort by building like it comes up here. Then text paragraph, ascending, OK. And what should happen is now building, all this is going to be in alphabetical order. And the numbers change with it, which is what you want to do. Then what I want you to do is click down here and go to insert, or you could probably right click and put insert rows below, and it should add another row to the bottom. And then what I want you to type in is total dash entire site. And then once we have that done, it tells us to click here, and rather than add these up in our head, what they want us to do is go to layout under this option, and then there should be different options, but one of those options should be under data, formula, and equal sum above is the first one that comes up, and that's the one we want, so we hit OK, and it adds it up to be 625. Then it tells us to do the same thing here. On the next one is data, formula, sums above, but the only difference is this one didn't have the number sign, this one needs a number sign. So what we'll do is choose our different options, and the one they want us to choose would be, I believe it's this one. But then what you're going to have to do is go in there and you're going to have to get rid of the 0.0 portion of it, because we don't want it to have that. And then when I hit enter, I now get $4,350 just like that. Next step is just got to be inside the table somewhere. There should be this option for cell margins, and it should be 000.08. All that is correct. The thing we're going to change is click right there to allow spacing between cells, and they want us to just increase it one time, so now it says 0.02. And when I hit OK, what you'll notice now is you see how these white lines have gotten bigger in between. So that's what we're doing so far. Next thing they want us to do is kind of within that same option. We're back into cell margins. They want us to change the settings on this. They want the top to be 0.02, the left to be 0.01, the bottom to be 0.02, and the right to be 0.01. Then when I hit OK, it just kind of changes the dimensions a little bit. Next step is going to be to highlight all this information. And when I highlight all this information, they give me different options. But the option I want to choose is not to distribute rows. I want to distribute the columns. And basically all that does is kind of evens it out so they look the same. Then that's probably going to be all I'm going to do today, because I don't want to do a lot today because I know some are behind. So basically what you need to do is the previous day's 2 assignments if you're behind, plus this one is your 3rd one, and this should all be done by Wednesday night. Email me with issues because I can't fix it if you don't tell me. Preferably try to email me during the day, because you email me at 8 o'clock at night. I'm at home. I don't have access to everything I do when I'm at school. So get your butt out of bed, work on this stuff. I'm at school from 8 to 11, available for students to come in and work on stuff. Just let me know what you need. Good luck.